I keep singing Vento Aureo's praises specifically because of one thing, the fights. They're all completely over the top, and I believe one of the best examples of this is when the gang go against Prosciutto and Pesci in the Grateful Dead arc. Hell, I even have figures of both of them. Starting off by just looking at the two of them, Prosciutto comes off as a calm, sophisticated killer, and as he should. Part 5 probably has the toughest enemies any of the JoJo protagonists go against, and with good reason, since unlike Part 4 for example, when Josuke and Co are up against brand new stand users, Giorno is up against mafia members who kill people for a living, and it's seen through their fighting experience and ruthlessness. The Part 4 enemies were mostly school students for Christ's sake. Starting right off the bat, Prosciutto wastes no time in trying to sniff out Buccelati and his gang, almost killing everyone in the train in order to achieve his goal. On the other hand though, Pesci doesn't come across as experienced as his partner. He's very nervous and has hardly any confidence in the beginning, but it works well with the dynamic he shares with Prosciutto. He teaches Pesci in the ways of being a member of the team and what kind of mentality you need to have to win a battle. It's essentially a mentor role, which I appreciate because it shows another side of the execution team that we don't see too often. It's camaraderie verging on friendship, which makes sense considering the entire motivation for the team being against the boss in the first place, and is also quite rare to see with the villains. Most of the mafia members we see are in it for themselves, such as when Zucchero tried to find Polpo's treasure, so it's nice to see a team that works similarly to Abbacchio's with just as interesting characters and stands. Pesci is amazed by just how far Prosciutto is willing to go to try and beat Buccelati, and it becomes a major motivation for him, ending the fight in the most climactic way ever. He's a bit like Okuyasu in the fact that they both have awesome stands but don't take full advantage of them, but when he does, he's terrifying. I've said before that I'm a big fan of when characters are underestimated, and this is a textbook example. We see a far more human side to Pesci when we're able to see his weaknesses and what he's thinking throughout the fight, so when he goes all out and puts everything on the line, get it? Line? His composure and strategy completely change, and he becomes an even bigger challenge than Grateful Dead, though to be fair that stand isn't really meant for 1v1s as much as Beach Boy. It really makes you wonder how this fight would have gone if Pesci went all out from the start, as he pushes Buccelati's stand to its absolute limits, and it's honestly a wonder that he never died after splitting up his body like he did. The reason I like the finale to the fight is because of how Buccelati acknowledges his enemy. Vento Aureo has characters having respect for each other quite often, which makes sense considering they all have the same profession, and know what they had to do to get to where they are. It's a real eye-opener to see the similarities these characters have. As they're all mafia members, chances are they've all done bad things, with Buccelati's gang certainly not being a team of saints. In my opinion, when at least comparing Buccelati's gang to the execution team, for the most part they're equals, with conflicting goals giving everything they have to win. It was nice to see this exemplified in this fight. As a little side note, the setting's pretty neat for a battle as well. Part 5 really likes having fights on top of moving vehicles, and they're generally more interesting than having a static background. It adds another level of intensity to it and makes everything seem a lot more dangerous, which it is. The train ends up being key in Prosciutto's downfall in a pretty brutal way as he gets slammed into the tracks, so it's nice to see the environment the fight takes place in being directly involved in the outcome of the battle. So there you have it, that's why I like the Grateful Dead fight. Despite the problems that Part 5 may have, I'll always stand by the fact that the fights are some of the best in the series, and this one's one of the best for me. Thanks for watching folks. If you've got any ideas for some new videos I could do, let me know. I'm always happy to hear suggestions, and yeah, I'll see you next time.